Good morning. Welcome to Winnipeg. How about them Winnipeg Jets, huh? I think one of the radio stations said something to the effect of, this was their best game ever. I don't know, I didn't watch it, so I couldn't tell you. I've mentioned this before, I'm not a big sports fan, but when the Winnipeg Jets or the Winnipeg Blue Bombers are doing well, I'm happy for them. But I don't get all excited and go down onto Portage Avenue when they're having a parade or anything like that. I just can't get into that. Some people are, and there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, we're a world full of all kinds of different people, aren't we? If we could just somehow figure out how to get along. Yeah. Okay, today I do believe we are going to finish step 13. Finally. I can't see any reason right now. There's no little places that I have to touch up with the brush or anything like that. Nothing that I forgot to do. I think that this is going to be it. I mean, it's really simple. We're just basically putting these pieces together. As long as they fit, we shouldn't have a problem. And as long as I'm careful and don't get all ham-handed and break off a railing or something. I don't think I will. Anyway. There we go. We are ready for you know who. 7:26. That's about the time the walkers usually come by. They might come by as we're talking here, but on the other hand, they probably come by already. I wouldn't blame them. It was really nice early this morning. I think it's going to be another beautiful day. I don't know if it's going to get as warm as yesterday, but it's going to be a beautiful day. 3 motorcycle rides yesterday. Can you believe it? Yeah, I got to start limiting myself. I think maybe today I might go to a McDonald's that I haven't gone to for a long time, that my wife and I used to go to years ago, just for nostalgia's sake. You know, when I went to Tim Hortons yesterday, and I came back, and Maxim asked me how was it, and I think I said it was nostalgic. Well, when I said that, I meant in terms of when I was sitting there, I could remember my wife and I coming there years ago together. Yeah, that was back when that McDonald's was brand new, or almost brand new. I mean Tim Hortons, not McDonald's. Yeah, it's places or music or something like that. It tends to, I guess you would say, invoke nostalgic memories, good memories. Anyway, enough about that. Let's recompose here. I don't think there's anything else that we need to mention. We're ready to boogie. I got my windows open. Yeah, first time this year that I've had my windows open, at least at this time of the day. So I can feel this very nice cool breeze coming in. It's 17.2 Celsius right now, at least beside the house. So I imagine the breeze that's coming through is about that temperature. It almost feels chilly, but that's okay. We'll cool the house down, and I don't need to run the AC today. Sometimes that works, and sometimes it doesn't. A lot depends on the humidity. If the humidity is high, you sort of feel that it's hotter and closer than it really is. But right now, our humidity, I don't know if you can read that, but it's only 24%. That's low, really low. So, hey, okay. Let's recompose here and try and get these pieces together and make a module. And then we'll be able to flip the page. Well, we'll flip the page once we're finished this one. Yeah. Okay. I'm ashamed of myself that I cannot remember who it was that sent me these. Now, for some reason, the names Bob and Carol come to mind, but it could be somebody else. and I apologize for that. But these are some chisels, and there's a small one here, which I'm not going to use because it is for really delicate stuff. And then there's a wider one here, which I am going to use. And what I was noticing a few minutes ago, so let me get this out of the way. Maybe if I can zoom in a little bit here, try and keep everything in the field of view. Now you can see here we got some flashing that's going on, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this chisel. I was going to use my number 18 blade, that wide flat one, but something like this seems to work really, really well. So maybe what I'll do is I'll stick the macro lens on, and we'll move in and, as I've said before, take a nice close look. Okay, now let's try and keep this in the field of view. I just want to get the worst of it. Okay, now there is actually more pieces here. Maybe I'll turn this around. I'll get my leverage a little bit differently here. I also want to be careful that I don't slide the other side of this, which is painted, around too much on the green cloth, and yeah. I've got a little one going on here, sort of. And we got something over here. And there's one right here. Here again, I've got the angle wrong. I'm going to swing this around. Maybe if I clean this blade off, you can actually see it cutting better. And I do believe these can be sharpened. I haven't sharpened them yet, but I can imagine that you can probably sharpen them with a whetstone or something. Okay. Yeah, you get the idea. Oh. Did I do this one? Apparently not. Now, if a person wanted to really do it up nice, you'd take a sanding stick and just sort of sand it nice and smooth. But this is the underside, which we are probably not going to see, I hope. Okay, last time I tried this fit, these parts had not been painted. Just doing a dry run here. Oh, and I'm not going to bother painting in the back there where that alligator clip was, because we're not going to see that. There's probably going to be an LED light going in there. You know, I'm wondering if maybe I should be drilling the hole for the LED right now before I glue this down. It'd be somewhat easier. Yeah, I think that's what I should do, because I want to put an LED in here, illuminating back against the bulkhead. Well, first let's see how this is going to fit here. Can I force this down? What's wrong here? It fit before. Oh, there we go. It kind of fits, doesn't it? It's no, it's not going down. No, remember a week ago I was complaining about the garbage truck? I can hear it coming. I'm not going to complain about it. I'm not going to let it bother me. Why will this not go down? Well, it's kind of going down. It's down on this side. There we go. There we go. Okay. So we know that's going to fit. Now let's drill our hole right here. Now I want to remember that the underside of this that we cleaned up is going to be suspended over top of the I guess you would call it the anchor deck, and we will have the wires then running from wherever it comes out back somehow. I guess we'll worry about that when the time comes. But when we, where's my LEDs here? Okay, so when the LED is going through the other side, what am I trying to think about here? What am I trying to say? I guess I want to make sure that I'm not going to be jamming anything up. I would think also that the LED, we're going to want to have it as far back to the back of this wall as possible here, so that when you're looking in from the side, you don't actually see the LED. So in other words, I mean, this is not rocket science. I'm over-engineering this, aren't I? I think if I was to just put it, you know, like right here, that will probably be fine. Okay, there's our pilot hole. Now this little drill is great, but it doesn't have a lot of torque. Okay. Now we are going to have to take our reamer and enlarge this, because this will not fit. This almost fits, but not quite. Just has to go. Well, it's pretty close, isn't it? Pretty close. I don't know, maybe I'll just leave well enough alone. I guess when I was putting the bit in and sort of moving it or twisting it around, I reamed out the hole. So as it turns out, yeah, it's exactly the right size. So this will actually come in from the bottom, like so. Trying to find one of those holes there to put this in. Yeah, and then we'll just fasten the wires to it, and I guess we'll be bending them back this way because we want it Yeah, we'll worry about this later, I guess. Although maybe now is the time to get that LED mounted in there. Okay, I've decided to put the LED in after. Otherwise I'm going to have wires and stuff like that. I'll move in just a little bit here. Now, this does not have to be okay. I've decided to put the LED in after. Otherwise I'm going to have wires and stuff like that. I'll move in just a little bit here. Now, this does not have to be glued real well. Okay, I think that's gonna catch and flow down. Now this is the back side we're not going to see. However, this is the front. I don't think it matters because it gets in there. Oh, no, we won't see that. All right, now is this going to snap down into place like it did before? I think it should. There we go. I think that enough of that glue is going to, yeah. Actually, you can see right here where I've got it sort of oozing out there, but we're not going to see that. At least that's the plan. Okay. Now, this piece here, I think we don't want to put the boat on right now. It goes right there. But I think the next thing to do is plug it into the other part here. And it goes like this. I wonder if I should have painted the underside of that. Maybe I made a mistake by not painting that. Well, if I'm going to do it, now is the time to do it. You know, I could just sort of, you know, just sort of brush it in. Yeah, you know, now that I think about it, I think maybe I should have painted that. I wonder what color it should have been, though. Mind you, I don't think we're going to be seeing that. You know what? I'm just going to go ahead and quickly brush this. Yeah, I should have, when I was spraying this, I should have sprayed the whole thing. Now I have to be mindful with my other hand here on the other side that I don't accidentally break these off. I think that this should actually go just a little bit further here. Okay, now what I was planning on doing is going to take my hypodermic needle here and Get a little sample of extra thin, and then hopefully I can get it to weld all the way along here. Okay, that's not working, is it? Alright, let's take this back out. And maybe just try and moisten those tongues a little bit here. Oh, it's going to go right through to the green cloth, isn't it? Well, let's see if this will work without doing that. Yeah, that's going better. All right, now I had wanted to go all the way along and have a nice weld here. But this is not releasing for some reason. Yeah, it's not going gently. It's sort of suddenly going. Well, it's not going to work because it's going to all of a sudden just gush right over everything. So I guess maybe what I'll do is I'll just sort of let it wick its way along here. Now remember, this is the underside that we are not going to be seeing. Now when that dries, it should be quite strong. And if it's off just a little bit, I think I'll just leave that. We will be able to bend it one way or the other. problem moving the bottom of the ladder out. Maybe I'm going to have to just turn it a little bit like this. You're not going to be able to see it, unfortunately. I am going to have to reposition. Okay. Also on here is got to be a hose reel, which I am having a problem with not dropping. Now it is supposed to fit in this right down in there, like that. It seems to fit okay. Get a little bit of extra thin there, but I want to put that in after I get the ladder in place. Okay, let me just think about this here now. Okay, the ladder I've got basically where I want it here. And what I've got going on is CA glue thin. I'm trying not to get my head in the light here. I just want to do the top of the ladder. I'm not going to worry about the bottom until the top cures. I'll probably have to repaint. Okay, yes, that bottom, or pardon me, the top step of the ladder is now glued to the edge of the okay, I think I got it there. Yeah, oh yeah, I can see it now. There's more than enough, and I'll have to you know, maybe touch that up a bit with. Although, mind you, there's going to be the flight deck is going to be over top, like I'm holding this right now. So we're not going to be seeing this. Okay, let's just hit this with the smell of curing agent. Once again, when that evaporates, we're not going to see it. Now, is that seated, or is it got to go down a little bit more here? There, I think I basically got it. Now, I am not going to glue the base of the ladder. I'm just going to let it rest on the deck there. Yeah. Now, the other side is exactly the same as this, only it's mirror image. So I'm going to be doing that just quickly off camera and get it done. Okay, according to the manual here, when we drop this bolt down and put it on this grating or whatever it is, the cradle is supposed to be, well, let's see, when you look at it here, the edge of the cradle is supposed to come right on the edge here like this. So let's just see how that's going to go here now. Okay. Yeah, something like that. And then the boat will fit on it afterwards. And I think we'll probably we won't mount the boat to the cradle now. We'll let gravity be our friend, and we'll put a little dollop of glue on each one of those little pads and hope that at least two of them are going to make contact. Yeah, as near as I can tell, that would be just about right. Now, I'm wondering if I should maybe use the Tamiya thick and put it on the bottom of this cradle here. Can I drop this down without it smearing all over the place? And the answer to that is probably no. So maybe what I should do is get this centered basically where I want it, and then sort of glue the back side that we're not going to see. Just let it wick its way in there. Oh, I moved it. I don't know where it's touching and where it isn't touching. Well, for sure we got that one. And that one. Okay, I think we're basically getting it here. Once this all melds. Okay. We'll just let that meld now. And I know it's a painted surface to a painted surface, but it will go right through the paint, and it should be fairly strong. Okay, we're just going to sort of do a dry run here. And you'll notice that there's a notch right here, and there's a notch right there. And I perused ahead in the manual here a few minutes ago to see what goes in there, and apparently there is some sort of an upright support that gets glued in there. So in other words, when we put our boat in, we want to make sure that it is not going to be bumping into that. So it has to go back. Yeah. Now that support that goes in here, I believe it is at a slight angle. Okay, I think we were to glue it something like that. Now let's okay, just a moment here. You know, it's 12 minutes after 10, and Missy the dog has not come by yet. Okay, so we're just gonna wet everything here. This is, by the way, this is the Tamiya thick. So I do have a little bit of working time here. Just want to make sure I got enough of it on. Okay. Now, very carefully here. Just try and get this basically right the first time. Okay, now Yeah, I think it's going to be okay. And it looks like it's level. I don't think I need to. Oh, Missy the dog just went out. Okay, well that's good timing because this is the end of this step here. Okay, let's just push stop here for a moment here. Good morning, Missy. How are you this morning? Morning, Max.
Good morning. I took down Raleigh this morning between McLeod and Kimberley, and you know how there's the soccer field on the right. I don't know, half a mile away, and I saw this white thing going across the road. I thought it might be a cat, a long ways away. Past the soccer field, and I saw it going across the field like this, and I'm pretty sure it was a coyote.
It could have been, yeah. I hope not.
So they're back.
I hope not.
They used to love that place.
Okay, Missy.
That grove of trees not far from Superstore, you know. Oh, it's 23 degrees already.
Isn't
Going
that
to
nice?
30?
Yeah, it's going to be a beautiful day.
Time to get out on the motorcycle already.
I'm going to call her quits on the model ship here in a few minutes. I just finished up
Good.
one of the steps here, and so I'm going to... I haven't done any editing yet, so I could spend about 2 hours doing that, and I'd like to get out before 1 o'clock this afternoon.
I think I was out to the E-Gym this morning at 6:30 a.m.
You were early. Yeah, I saw you go.
Were you at the table already? You
I
saw me in one of your other cameras.
can't remember. I just remember seeing you go, and I thought you were. I was expecting to see you come back with a Timmy's, and when you didn't, then I thought, oh, he's gone to the E-Gym. Yeah.
And then I came back with the Timmy's after the E-Gym.
Okay. So, Missy, can you take time out from scratching and say goodbye? Hmm?
So the Jets won last night in double overtime.
I heard that. Isn't that nice?
Yeah, so the city rejoices.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the entire city would be depressed.
Bye, Missy.
Thanks, Uncle.
Okay. Beautiful day out there. Missy the dog. Missy the dog. Now, all right. Well, this completes step 13. At least as complete as we can go on it. Yeah. All right, 14. Now we are not going to start 14. Today, that is. Yeah, I'm going to call her quits for this morning. It's only 10:31. I realize that, but once again, I want to take advantage of the nice weather, and I'd like to be out. And I guess if you were listening to the Missy the dog segment, you will have heard me say I wanted to go to McDonald's, or did I? No, maybe you didn't hear me say that. Yeah, there's a McDonald's that my wife and I used to go to years ago. Anyway, we'll talk about that on the ride. Thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we're going to see you tomorrow.